If you're getting ready to head out on your lunch break, we've got some absolutely beautiful weather right now, some sunshine. It's nice and warm outside, 74 degrees in Bloomington. We're at 69 right now in Peoria. Canton, you're at 73. Pontiac, your temperature at a nice even 70s. We'll have a slight chance of rain by the late afternoon and evening, and then a better chance of rain as we head into tonight. So right now things are looking pretty nice outside with some sunshine. Looking down the Illinois River here in Peoria, we've got highs in the middle 70s for today with increasing clouds. Rain is on the way for tonight and for the morning hours of our Friday. And then we're watching next week for some very stormy weather at times. Today, unfortunately, we are expecting high pollen levels. It's that tree pollen out there that's going to get you the elm, maple, and poplar trees. The biggest issues right now. And then after that, we're quiet for several days. But it's going to be a lot cooler, so that's kind of the price you pay. We dry out this weekend, but then it's cooler. We'll have highs in the 50s, so going to need a wardrobe change after this week's almost summer-like weather. The impacts, first off, tomorrow evening could be as early as 3. Most of the data shows it's a little later than that, though, maybe closer to around dinner time. We'll see these storms develop. With that elevated tornado and hail threat, there could still be some storms even late tomorrow night into early Wednesday. These will not be quite as potent, but still could see some strong wind gusts and maybe even a brief spin up there even into early Wednesday morning. But a very volatile setup when it comes to storms. I mean, an incredibly unstable atmosphere. And where we get these frontal boundaries to ignite storms, we get some big problems later today. Once you get to central Illinois, it does drop down because the forcing to produce storms is not as prevalent. So we have the same type of atmosphere, but not the trigger that areas just north of us have. That's why we have a level 2 threat of severe storms locally. And this is really the front that's going to change this entire pattern from the pattern of storms and summer-like warmth. It's going to send us back to much cooler weather this weekend. But in the process, we will get showers and storms likely area-wide Friday night. And these could be severe. We're going to need to keep a close eye on this front as we get closer. Part of our severe threat really hinges upon timing. The timing, if it happens a little bit earlier Friday evening, the severe weather threat goes up. If it moves in later Friday night, we're not quite as unstable. The other story will be the rain turning to snow. So a multifaceted system from the storm chances to the snow. We'll see that transition Sunday evening into early Monday. Some accumulation and slick travel based on the latest data. I will say the data compared to yesterday has backed off some on the accumulations, but the idea here of rain, a flash freeze, and then some light snow, it still certainly paints a picture here that we could have some slick travel here Sunday night and for Monday. We'll also have more wind. Go figure. Those winds could gust 35 to 50 miles an hour from Sunday into the day on Monday. By 7 p.m. we start to see these supercells, and as they start to form, they will pose again that risk of tornadoes, very large hail with them as they continue to become a little bit more numerous by 8 o'clock in the evening. We may see that round start to diminish by the late evening hours, but then another round as the cold front approaches early Wednesday morning with heavy rain, showers and storms. We'll still see some rain through the morning hours of Wednesday, and then this front will start to clear the area with drier weather, but also turning much cooler as we go through the back half of the week. So here's your extended forecast. The temperatures, the big story today at 74, lots of sunshine, 78 on Tuesday. Again, late in the day, we'll begin to see storms fire up, especially in the evening. As we go into Wednesday, we'll see falling temperatures, rain in the morning, and then we'll dry out Thursday and Friday. In your forecast, we've got big changes on the way for the weekend as we'll see a strong cold front bring showers and thunderstorms, and then a big drop in our temperatures. Have all those details for you coming up next. You can still get frost even with temperatures in the mid-30s, which is the case for many of us this morning. So on nights like last night where we have a clear sky and light winds, what happens is the air near the ground actually cools faster than a few feet up. So the temperature, when you see our temperature map, it's actually measured about 6 feet above the ground. So keep in mind, even if you're in the mid-30s, that ground temperature near the grass, it can be a few degrees cooler, and thus you start to develop frost. This is pushing closer to the Peoria area right now. Let's zoom in and take a look at the area of concern. Now pushing its way very close to Pekin here with some very large hail. And we see that hook signature right here. I'm going to draw the area that we're talking about when I say a hook signature. See that right here? That's where we're watching for that rotating thunderstorm right there. And again, this is the area that has had a history of producing a large tornado as it moved its way across the Lewiston area. Confirmation of tornado damage there. And we're still seeing that signature. We are hoping to see a gradual decrease in the intensity as the atmosphere is not quite as conducive as it is a little bit further off to the west, but we kind of take a look back where the storm has really been intense, especially around the Lewiston-Bryant area. Storm spotters are telling us that there is major damage right now with this storm as it moves its way across central Fulton County. And we're still seeing, of course, a very alarming look here on our shear tracks as we're now seeing that storm push its way into western parts of Tazewell County. Along 24, do not travel. Mapleton, Glassford, getting the lowest place in your home. Manitou, you're going to be too close to call, although that rotation will likely go just north of you. You're still included in the warning, so we need you to get into your safe place at this time. So let's kind of zoom out, and we're going to kind of put a track on this area of rotation for you this evening. So we kind of zoom out across the Peoria Metro, and we'll put a track on this for you to help you kind of plan on when the storm will arrive. There's the rotation right there. This couplet just south of Empire right now, west of Farmer City. Look at that spot that we're seeing some of the lighter colors. I'll circle this for you. Again, that is what could be debris getting lofted with this storm. We don't know if that would be grain bins or pieces of a home.